Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer workout using a lot of props. We are going to use a magic circle and we are also going to use a ball and a box. So grab a circle, grab a ball, grab a box. As always, I will have the props linked in the description below. We are going to get started fully loaded with your springs just so your carriages do not move. And then once we go fully loaded, if you do have shoulder blocks that come out and you want to take them out, you can take them out. Otherwise, if you have shoulder blocks that don't come out, they can stay in. If you have them that come out and you don't want to take them out, you can just leave them in. Up to you. We're going to start sitting on our reformers with our ball and our circle. When we sit on our reformers, I'm going to scoot my butt pretty far forward so it's more towards the edge of the carriage. And then my feet are going to go into the black strap that's on the platform out in front of me. It's going to go underneath. And then I'm just going to set the ball into my low back. So kind of into my lumbar spine, into my lower thoracic spine. I'm not like wedging it into my low back by any means, but I'm just setting it down into like my lower back, and then we're going to take the circles and they're going to go in between the knees. Now, when we get the circles in between our knees here, I'm going to have my knees wider than my feet. My feet are going to be about hip distance away from each other. So when we squeeze the circle, ideally the knees and the feet are going to be in line with each other. Hands are just going to go behind our head. We're going to let our knees open out to the sides of the room so we're not squeezing the circle. I'm going to inhale, fold over my ball into a little extension, and then I'm going to exhale and curl up. And I'm not worrying about the circle quite yet. So I'm just going to inhale, fold over the ball, and then exhale, curl up. Now, when my shoulders hit the shoulder blocks, that is when I am going to come up. If you need to pause and adjust the ball, now would be a good time to pause and adjust the ball. It's an inhale to fold over and an exhale to curl up. We're going to go for 2. Exhale, curl. Last one, inhale over and exhale, curl. Okay, feel free to hug your legs. We're gonna add in a little squeeze this time. Again, if you need to adjust the ball, you can. To make this easier, the ball can go higher up into your back rather than lower down your spine. So I'm gonna take my hands behind my head again. Elbows are gonna be open out nice and wide. I'm gonna inhale, fold over the ball, and when I exhale and curl, I'm gonna squeeze the circle in between my legs. I'll release the squeeze as I fold over, and I'm gonna exhale, curl, and squeeze. Inhale over, exhale, curl, squeeze, using those inner thighs, really feeling our rectus abdominis. We're gonna go for 2 and 1. Okay, when I come up, I'm gonna hold here. I'm just gonna release the squeeze and then squeeze, release, squeeze. We're holding our curls this time. Inhale, release, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release, exhale, squeeze. Hold your curl for 3, 2, last one. Now we're gonna hold that squeeze and we're gonna do just little pulses in, stay in your curls. If you want your arms to go at your sides, they can go at your sides. Otherwise, they can stay behind your head. Little pulses of your circle for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we release. Okay, you're gonna take these circles out. If you want to hug your legs in, you can just give your legs a little bit of a hug. And we are going to keep that ball here. Again, to make it a little nicer for yourselves, if you want to go a little higher up your back, you can go a little higher up your back. Now, the right foot is going to come out of the strap. The left foot is going to stay in. My right knee is just going to go up into a tabletop position. I'm going to set the circle on my right thigh, and then I'm going to bring my left elbow into the circle, and I'm going to take my right hand behind my head. I'm rotated slightly to the right side. We're going to do little pulses into the circle. Keep your right knee and pulse, pulse, pulse. 4, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, relax. Oh, okay. Relax, take those circles out. Those are painful. We're gonna take the circle now. The left foot comes out. The left knee is in a tabletop position. I'm gonna take it to my left thigh, right elbow to the soft part of the circle, hands behind the head. We're rotated to the left. We pulse for 8, 7, 6. Stay in that rotation to the left for 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, once we relax, we are going to come up. we're gonna take those balls and we're just gonna set them off to the sides. Now, we're still fully loaded with those springs. We're gonna lie ourselves down onto our reformers. If you took your shoulder blocks out, feel free, you can just keep them out right now. Headrests are all the way down. We're gonna take our circles, our legs go all the way through the circle, right around our legs above our knees. I'm gonna set my feet just down onto the wooden platform, and my feet are out about as wide as that circle, so wider than what we're used to. We're gonna start here with an inhale in our neutral spines. On my exhale, I'm gonna flatten my low back down into the mat. I'm gonna roll myself up into a bridge, and as I bridge, I'm pulling the circle apart with my knees. I'm gonna take an inhale at the top, and then on my exhale, I'm rolling my spine all the way back down into the mat, and I'm releasing the pull. I'm inhaling in my neutral. It's an exhale to flatten the low back down. We roll our spines up as we pull the circle apart. We take an inhale at the top, and then we're exhaling to articulate our spines all the way back down into the mat. Again, inhale in our neutral. Exhale, flatten, peel, pull the circles apart. Abductors, outsides the legs into the outsides of glutes. Take an inhale at the top. Again, I'm exhaling to articulate my spine all the way back down into the mat. And then this is the last one. Exhale, flatten, peel, pull the circle apart. Now, when I get to the top, I'm gonna hold myself up here. On an exhale, I'm gonna pull the circle apart even more with my knees. And then I'm gonna inhale and release. Exhale, pull, inhale, release. So outsides of the legs into the outsides of the glutes. We're pulling the circle apart, releasing, pulling the circle apart, releasing. Let's go for 4, 2, and 1. And then once we release, we're gonna roll our spines all the way back down into the mat, and I'm just gonna come back into a neutral spine. Okay, we're gonna take our circles out, we're gonna keep them. I'm gonna scoot out of my shoulder blocks just a tiny bit so my shoulders aren't touching them. I'm gonna take the soft part of the circle into both hands. I'm gonna nod my chin to my chest. I'm gonna take the other soft part of the circle behind my head, and now I'm just resting it into my head rest. Now, feet are going to just stay down to start. We're in a neutral spine. My elbows are gonna be open out nice and wide. My hands are stacked. On an exhale, I'm gonna push into my palms, nod my chin to my chest. I'm gonna come up into an abdominal curl without collapsing into my low back, and then I'm gonna inhale and set my head back down. So again, I'm gonna press into my palms, lift myself up into a curl, and then we're inhaling to return back down. As we curl up, we're holding our neutral spines. Again, exhale, curling ourselves up, and then inhaling as we return back down. Chin towards the chest, eyes looking towards your core, towards your pubic bone. This is gonna be the last one. Exhale, curl, and then inhale to return back down. Now pause at the bottom, bring your knees up into a tabletop position. Our legs are gonna be zipped together. We're gonna curl up one time. We're gonna hold ourselves here, stay in that neutral spine. We're gonna inhale, reach the right leg out. Exhale to pull in, inhale left leg out, exhale to pull back in. Again, we extend away, we exhale to pull, inhale away, and exhale back in. I'm engaging my obliques to pull each leg back in. Extend and pull. Let's go for 3. Elbows should be open out nice and wide for 2. Last one. When we come back in, we're gonna pause in. I'm gonna inhale, reach both legs out to a challenging level. Exhale, pull both knees back in. Inhale, both legs extend. Draw the abs into the back. Again, I'm holding my neutral spine the entire time. Extend, scoop into those low abs to pull. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, set the feet down, set your heads down. We're gonna take the circles out, and then we're just gonna sit ourselves off to the sides. All right, now once we sit ourselves off to the sides, you can just set the circles to the side for a second. We are going to go to, actually, we'll stay fully loaded on these springs just so our carriages don't move. We're gonna grab our box and we're gonna put our short box onto our reformers. When we put our short blocks on, I'm taller, so I'm gonna go over my shoulder blocks. If you're shorter, you can go in front of your shoulder blocks with your box. And then we're gonna grab our circles. When we grab our circles, we're gonna sit on our box. We're gonna face the foot bars. Now, when we sit down, your feet are gonna go back into that black strap or back into the strap, whatever color it is, on the platform out in front of you. My feet are going to be no wider than hip distance away from each other, and they're going to be parallel. I'm gonna make sure I have at least a palm's width away from me in the back of my carriage so that my sacrum can roll back there. I can have a little more than that, just no less than a palm's width so that your sacrum can go back. We're gonna grab the circle into our hands and we're gonna reach our arms out nice and long. Shoulders are down, collarbones are wide. I'm gonna exhale, tuck my pelvis, send my tailbone towards my heels. I'm gonna roll down into my sacrum. So I want the lowest part of my back to get down into the box. I'm gonna take an inhale here. And then on an exhale, I'm scooping into my abdominals and keeping that C curve of my spine. When I get back up over my hips, I'm gonna stack my spine nice and tall. So start at your tailbone, tuck your pelvis, send your tailbone towards your heels, round through your spine, scoop into your abs, squeeze your glutes to help get your low back down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, keep that rounded shape through your spine. We're coming all the way up. And then once we get up over the hips, we're gonna stack up nice and tall. Again, tuck, roll yourself down. Keep those feet parallel. Take that inhale when that low back gets down. Exhale, scoop into those abdominals. Stack the spine as we come back up. We're gonna go for 2 more. Tuck, roll back. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, scoop into the abdominals. Stack the spine to come back up. And then last one. Exhale, tuck, roll back, squeeze those glutes. Inhale here, and then exhaling as we come all the way back up. Okay, the next time we go down, we're gonna stay down. We're gonna lift the arms, lower the arms, lift the arms, lower the arms, and we're gonna stay in that nice little C shape of our spine. So arms are gonna reach out nice and long, shoulders are down, collarbones are wide. I'm gonna exhale, tuck my pelvis, send my tailbone towards my heels, roll back to that sacrum. I'm gonna pause here. On an inhale, I'm gonna lift my arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back down out in front of me. Inhale, lift overhead. Exhale, back to the chest. Inhale up, exhale down. That is the only thing moving are your arms. Your chest stays in the same spot the entire time. We should really feel our core working to hold us in the same spot. We're gonna go for 2, 1, and then we're gonna come all the way back up. You can relax the arms. Feel free to give your shoulders next roll. Okay, our left foot is gonna stay in the strap. Our right foot is gonna come out. We're gonna rotate towards the right side of the room. And then when we rotate to the right side, the circle is gonna be in your left hand. Again, left foot is in the strap. We're gonna hold it into the soft part. You're gonna set the other soft piece of the circle into your headrest. And then our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked. I'm gonna take my right hand behind my head. We're gonna inhale into a side sit up. And then on an exhale, you're gonna push into the circle to help get you back up. We're gonna release as we go into our side sit up. We're gonna push into that circle to come back up. So we inhale, we release, we fold over. And then we exhale to push to come back up. Our hips stay stacked, our shoulders stay stacked on top of each other. You should still feel those obliques. That left arm is working. We're gonna go for 2. Exhale up, last one over and up. Now we're gonna go halfway down, hold. You're just gonna press into the circle, release, press into the circle, release. Try to keep your shoulders and your hips parallel to the wall in front of you. Stay halfway for 4, 3, 2. Okay, on this last one, use your push to help get you back up. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna take my right foot in, left foot out. Circle should be in your right hand this time. Rotate to the left side of the room. Right leg is gonna be nice and long. I'm gonna take the soft part of the circle into my right hand. The other soft part goes right into my headrest. Left hand behind my head. My shoulders and hips are parallel to the wall in front of me. I'm gonna inhale, fold over. I can exhale, push into the circle to help get me up. Inhale, fold over. Exhale, push into the circle to help bring you back up. Inhale over, Exhaling as we lift. We should still feel those obliques, and we're trying to keep our shoulders and our hips parallel to the wall out in front of us. We have 2 more. And then last one. Now we're gonna go halfway down, hold. We just push into the circle, release, push into the circle, release. Exhale, press, release, press, release. Keep your shoulders and hips parallel to the wall in front of you. Stay at that halfway point. We're gonna push for 5, 4, and then on this last one, use it to help get you all the way back up. Okay, once we come up, we're gonna pause. We're gonna rotate back to the front. Both feet are gonna go back into that strap. Again, make sure that we have at least that palms width away from us and the back of our boxes so that our sacrums can roll back there. I'm gonna reach my arms back out in front of me. Same thing that we finished with. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, roll down to our sacrum. We're gonna hold here. We lift the arms back up overhead. We bring it back in front of our chest. We go overhead and we come back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep that tuck of your pelvis. Abs are in. Squeeze those glutes. Look at your feet. Make sure that they're parallel with each other for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, come all the way back up. Relax your arms. Feel free to give your shoulders and necks a little bit of a roll. Box is gonna stay on. We're gonna step off to the sides. Now, I'm gonna go 1 heavy, 1 medium spring. It is gonna be a little heavy for legs. If this is too heavy for your legs, I would go 1 heavy, 1 light spring. If you had your box over your shoulder blocks, put it in front of your shoulder blocks, and then we're gonna keep our circles. We're gonna step with our left foot onto the wooden platform, and then I'm gonna step up onto my carriage with my right, and then the left foot stays on the wooden platform, but now our right foot is gonna go right onto the box. Both toes should be pointed forward, and my right foot is like right at the edge of the box. Circle is still in my hands. We're gonna push the carriage out with our left leg. So we're leaning slightly to the side. Now that left leg is gonna stay here. The circle is right in front of our chest. Our elbows are kind of open out to the side. I'm gonna exhale and push the carriage out with my left leg, and I'm gonna come in, out with the left and in. Now again, if that's too heavy, go to 1 heavy and 1 light spring. Now every time I push out, ready, I'm gonna squeeze the circle, release, squeeze the circle, release. If it's too heavy and you don't wanna change your springs, you can always slide your right foot a little further away from your body. That does make it a little lighter. Press and in. I have a little bend to my left knee. I'm hinged slightly forward again. Every time I push out, I'm squeezing my circle. Abs are in to our backs. Again, lighter, your foot is further away. Heavier, your foot is a little closer towards you. 4, 3, squeeze, 2, 1, and in. Okay, once we come back in, we're gonna pause. If you feel comfortable staying up here to rotate to the other side, you can stay up here. Otherwise, you can step down, walk around to the other side. We're gonna have the right foot on the wooden platform, left foot on the box. Again, if you go to the edge, it's gonna be heavier. If you have your foot a little further away, it's gonna be a little lighter. I'm going to bring the circle right in front of my chest. My elbows are open slightly out to the side. I'm gonna push out with my right leg, and I'm gonna find a little bend, and then we're gonna go out and in with the left. Push, resist, push, resist. Every time we press, we're gonna squeeze the circle, release, squeeze the circle, release. Again, abs are in towards our backs. We have a little hinge forward. If you need to put a sticky pad underneath your foot to make it stay, or if you have sticky socks, if your foot isn't staying, you can always put a pad underneath it to make it stay. Press, release, press, release. Exhale away, inhale back, push, resist. Let's go for 5, 4. Again, every time we press out, we need to squeeze the circle. Last one, and in. Okay, stand all the way back up. We're gonna step that left foot off, and we're gonna step off to the sides. Now, when we step ourselves off to the sides, we can go ahead, just set our circles to the sides. We're gonna take off that medium spring. So now, actually let's take off the heavy. We'll make it a little more challenging for our core. So take off your heavy, you're on one medium spring. Grab your ball, and then just keep your box where it's at in front of your shoulder blocks. We're gonna kneel on our reformers facing our boxes. When we kneel, I'm gonna take the ball right in between my box and my knee. My toes, balls of my feet are gonna be right on the edge of the wooden frame of your reformer here. And then we're gonna keep our right knee just right where it's at. We're gonna push the carriage out with the left leg so the knee should lift up, and then we're gonna bend to come back in. I'm gonna exhale to push away, inhale back. Forearms are down onto the box. Abs are in. We exhale to press out. We squeeze our glute as we push away. We inhale back in. My abs are in to my back. Again, exhale, press, squeeze the glute. Inhale back in. Shouldn't be too much work for your butt, but really activate that glute max so you can get a little more work into your glutes. Squeeze your booties when you push out and resist in. We're gonna do 2 more. Exhale away, inhale back, last one, exhale to push, and inhale back. Now, when we come back in, we're gonna pause in. The next time we push out, we have to stay out there. We're gonna roll the ball up and down the box with our right knee. So I'm gonna push the carriage out with my left leg. We're gonna hold. Squeeze your left glute. Scoop into your abs. You're gonna push into your form. You're gonna tuck your pelvis. Roll the ball up. Roll the ball down. Stay out here. Tuck, roll the ball up, roll the ball down. Try to keep your carriages nice and still. You're scooping and lifting. It's like a mini pike. You set the knee down, scoop, lift, mini pike, set the knee down. Draw those abs in to lift. Let's do 4 more. Tuck, roll up, inhale back down. Push into those forearms. Squeeze your left glute. We have 1 more. Roll up, down, and then bend to come all the way back in. Okay, same thing on the left side. That ball goes right in between your left knee and the box. The right toes, balls of your feet should be on the wooden platform. Left knee stays down. I'm gonna exhale to push out with my right leg. Inhale back, exhale out with the right, inhale back. Again, shoulders, hips are parallel to the floor. We're scooping into our abs. Exhale, push, squeeze the glutes. Inhale back. Eyes just looking down towards the floor. Press, squeeze. Inhale, return. Again, really squeeze your butt to activate that glute max. We're gonna go for 4 more. And then last one, out and in. Okay, when we come back in, we're gonna pause. The next time we push out, we're gonna hold ourselves up there or out there. We roll the ball up and down the box with that left side. So you're gonna push out, squeeze your glute, push into those forearms, tuck the pelvis, scoop into the abs, roll the ball up, roll the ball down. Adjust it if you need to. Tuck, roll up, down. I want your carriages to stay still. It's like a mini pike. You're tucking your pelvis, you're scooping into your abs to lift, and you're rolling back down. Tuck, scoop to lift, roll down. Push into those forearms. You're gonna feel your shoulders working for this as well. Exhale, inhale. We'll do 4. And 1. Okay, come all the way back in. And then once we come back in, we're gonna take our balls out and we can just set the balls off to the sides. Now, when we set the balls off to the sides, we're gonna go ahead, Stay on this blue spring. Our hands are gonna go right onto the top of the box. We're gonna do some push-ups on the box. I have my hands a little wider than shoulder distance away. My toes, balls of my feet are right onto the wooden platform. We're gonna lift our knees up. We're gonna stretch our legs out. We're gonna hold here. I'm gonna push out a little further with my arms so my shoulders are no longer over my hands. Ready? We're gonna bend our elbows wide. Press, try to keep your carriage still, wide. Press, try to give me 6 to 8 wide push-ups. Range of motion is up to you. Abs should be in, legs stay long. We're still pushing slightly out with those arms. This is gonna be my last one. And then I'm gonna bend to come back in. Feel free to set the different knees down. Give those wrists a little bit of a roll. Okay, last thing here, you can either stay on your palms or you can go down onto your forearms if your wrists are an issue. I'm gonna stay on my palms. They're gonna be more towards the edge of the box, closer to me this time. Toes, balls of feet are gonna stay on the wooden platform. Lift the knees, stretch the legs, hold. Now again, if your wrists are an issue, you're down onto your forearms. Legs are long. Arms are gonna push the carriage away. Arms can pull it back in. Arms push, arms pull. Abs are in, legs stay long, butts stay down. We push out, we resist in. Out, resist in. Again, if the wrists are an issue, down onto your forearms. We're gonna go for 2, 1, and then bend to come back in. Okay, we can step off to the side. When we step off to the side, we're gonna take our boxes off and they're gonna go back. Now, when we get our box back, we are going to go to 2 heavy springs for feet and straps. Feel free to just keep your foot bars where they're at. So 2 heavies. If you want it a little heavier than that, you can always add on a light spring with those. I'm gonna stay on these 2 heavies today. Grab your circles and we're gonna lie ourselves back down onto our reformers. I'm just gonna prop my circle off to the side so I can grab my straps. Long loops are gonna go onto our feet. Headrest can be up or down, that's up to you. Okay, so once we get the straps on our feet, I'm gonna grab my circle and it's gonna go around my ankles. So the straps can stay on your feet, but you're just gonna take it around your ankles, and then the legs are gonna go up just as high as we can hold our neutral spines. Take a look at your feet here, make sure that they're parallel. A lot of times we wanna move into an internal rotation with the circle here. Make sure that they're nice and parallel. Neutral spine. So we're gonna do little pulses of our circles out. So I want you just to do little pulses out, release, out, release, out, release. Now as we pulse, we're gonna lower the legs down towards our springs. So little pulses as we lower, and then little pulses as we lift, holding that neutral spine. Little pulses down, abduction, so away from the body, little pulses up. Little pulses down, little pulses up. Feel the outsides of the legs, outsides of the glutes. Keep those feet parallel with each other. We're gonna do 1 more down and up. Breathing naturally for these. Make sure that you are breathing. Okay, now once we pause up at the top, we're gonna hold the pull apart. So no more pulsing, just pull apart 1 time, keep that pull. We're gonna exhale, lower our legs back down towards our springs, keep that pull. Inhale, hinge to come back up, keep those feet parallel, don't release. Pull the legs down on 1 exhale. Inhale, hinge, come back up. Again, I'm not releasing the pull, the circle. Exhaling as we lower down. Inhaling as we hinge, come back up. We're gonna do 3 more. Do not release the pull. You're constantly pulling it apart for those abductors. For 2, it's an exhale down, and inhale to hinge back up, holding our neutral spine. Last one, lower, and then inhale, hinge. Okay, bend your knees, take your circles out. They're gonna go in between your ankles next. Legs are gonna go up again just as high as we can hold our neutral spines, and then feet again are parallel. Watch external rotation for these, so making sure that they're parallel. Pulsing again, so squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. As we pulse, we lower the legs down. We're breathing naturally for these adductors this time, inner thighs. We pulse back up. Our bra lines stay heavy, our sacrum stay heavy. Little pulses of those legs down. little pulses up. Hold that neutral. Adductors, pulse, 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 pulse. Make sure that you're breathing. Pulse, 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 pulse. It's naturally 2 and 1. Little pulses down, little pulses up. Whoo, feel those inner thighs. Okay, when we come up, we're gonna pause. Hold your neutral spine. 1 squeeze, hold that squeeze of the circle. Exhale, lower the legs back down towards our springs. Keep that squeeze. Inhale, hinge, come back up. Do not release the circle. Exhale, pull down, keep that squeeze. Inhale, hinge. Take a look at your feet. Are they parallel with each other? Exhale, lower. Inhale, hinge. We're not rolling in towards our feet with that squeeze. The straps are just flat on the bottoms of our foot. Inhale, hinge for 2 more. Exhale, lower. Keep that squeeze. Inhale, hinge, come back up. And then last one, pull. And then hinge to come back up. Okay, bend those knees, take the circles out, set them to the sides. Come out of your neutral spine, bottoms of the feet together, knees are open wide. Feel free to give those straps a nice pull to stretch out those inner thighs here. All right, then we're gonna go legs straight up to the ceiling, just as high again as we can hold. Our neutral spines, feet are gonna be parallel with each other. We're gonna lower the legs down towards our springs. We're gonna open them wide out to the sides to circle around, back up, holding that neutral. We go straight down, we open to circle around and back up. Again, just maintaining that neutral spine the entire time. Exhale, lower, inhaling as we circle around and back up. All right, last one in this direction. Nice big circles, open up those hips. And once we come up, we're gonna pause and reverse. Open the legs wide, press them down around, we're zipping them together. And then again, just hinging at the hips to come back up. Feeling those adductors working. Again, to bring the legs together, we're just gonna do 2 more. And then last one. Okay, now once we come back up, we're gonna pause. Again, we can let our low backs go flat. I'm gonna bend my knees, bring the bottoms of my feet together again. Hold those straps. Give my inner thighs a nice stretch. Can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, then the straps can stay on both feet. We're gonna let the legs go straight up to the ceiling. Last stretch we're gonna do is a figure 4. So I'm gonna bring my right ankle to my left knee. I'm gonna bend my left knee, and then you can push your right knee away from you, just get into that right piriformis. Feel free to hold on to your right strap on your foot so it doesn't fall off. Again, you will lose tension in this right one, but you can keep it on the foot. And then I'm gonna extend my left leg, take my right leg up to the ceiling, bend my left knee. We go ankle to knee, and then again, we'll lose tension in that left loop. Bend your right knee. You can push your left leg out away from you. Give that piriformis a nice stretch here. Okay, you can extend your right leg. We're gonna untangle ourselves. Straps are gonna come off of our feet. We can hang them back up onto the pegs. We'll sit off to the sides. And then you are all finished with that workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today.